Hi, I'm Tom with the FCB Launch channel, and in this tutorial I will show you how the Draft Ortho Array works in FreeCAD 1.1. The orthographic array is part of the array family, and in this video I will talk about only the orthographic array. I will talk about these other arrays in separate videos. So the orthographic array basically enables you to create copies of objects in one or two directions. It's a linear array and it creates a parametric object. So you can edit the array even after it is created. So I have this sample file with a wall and a chair, and let's say I want to create a row of these chairs. So I will select the base object and then fire up the ortho array, and this opens up the task panel, which is by default in a linear mode, which is a simplified mode where I create the array only in one axis. If I click this switch to ortho mode, I will be creating array in three axes, but I want to switch back to the linear mode, so I will be creating the array only in one axis, and I can select the x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. And important in array is that it's always using the global coordinates for these axes. So if I want to create the row of these chairs, this is the x-axis direction, so I will select the x-axis. Here I set the number of elements, so the number of chairs that I want to have. So let's say I will create 6, and this is the interval between the chairs. So this is the distance between the same point, so the left leg of the chair to the next leg of the chair. So I will type in 50 centimeters, and these we will talk about later. So this is the basic setup, and now if I hit OK, you can see that I have my array created, and it's 6 chairs in the one array object. So this is pretty straightforward, but now let's talk about the array object. If I select it, you can see that it has got some properties, and it's quite easy to adjust the existing array. So if I want to change the number of objects, the number of objects in the x-axis, I will have to change it here. This count is the overall number. I cannot change it here, but I can change it here. So instead of 6, I will type in 8. And let's say for me the distance between the chair is too small, so I want to make it larger. So I'm again changing the interval, but only in the x-axis. So I will drop this down and type in 60, hit enter. And now you can see that the chairs are spread out more. So now if I wanted to create several rows of these chairs, I could select the array object and create array again from this one. So if I now fire up the orthographic array again, now I want to actually go in the y-axis. So y, and the interval I will make them, let's say 80 centimeters, and number of rows for me would be, let's say 5. If I hit OK, you could see that I've got these rows created, but they were created in the wrong direction. So I could again go to this overall array, and I will go to the y interval, and I will change the y value to -80, hit enter, and now you can see that the values can be used in the negative. So now the y direction is -80, so it's opposite the positive y direction. So this way I did the array in 2 steps. So I've got array inside of array, but I could have done it in just 1 step. So I will actually now select this array and delete it. And when you delete array, the objects inside of the array are not deleted, or the original object. So again, if I created this original array from this first chair, if I delete this array, you can see that the original chair is hidden, but when I unhide it, it's still there. So you don't have to worry when you delete arrays. So now let me create all these rows in one step. So I will select the chair, fire up the ortho array, and now I will switch to ortho mode. Now I'm setting up the orthographic array in all three axes. So number of elements in X, it was I think 8 chairs. In Y it was 5, and in Z I don't want to have more levels, so just 1. And the X interval was 50. The Y interval was 80, and the Z, it doesn't matter. So now if I hit OK, you can see that the array is created, and I again forgot to set the Y interval with minus. So I will go here and type in minus, hit enter, and and this interval was also not correct. So I think I then made it 60. Yep. So now I've got the array in just one step. Okay, so now let's take a look at the properties of array. And what I'm interested in is these objects group. And here I've got the array type. I could switch this to polar or circular. But in this video, we are only working with the ortho. The axis reference only comes into consideration with polar or circular array. Then the base is the base object that is copied in the array, so I could change it here. The count is just for my information, the overall count of the chairs, so I've got 40 chairs here. Now if I take a look at the structure, you can see that under the array I've got only the one chair, so the base object. If I chose to expand array, you could see that I will have each object listed like so. So this is why you have this expand array here, and the views, I will talk about that a bit later. Now it's important to note that you work with the array as a one object. So if I use the transform tool, I could move the whole array as one object like so. So I will take a step back. And of course, if I change the base object, so let's say I would delete these legs. I will go yes. You can see that all of the objects in the array have changed. So I will take a step back again, so I have my chairs with all of the legs. And what is quite useful, I have shown you that if I delete the array, I'm back with just the base object. But sometimes it happens to me that I have an array created. Let me create this array, and I want to, let's say, work with this one individual object or delete this chair. Now I can only work with the array as a one object, but I can actually downgrade it into the individual chairs. And I do that by selecting the array and using the downgrade tool. So I will click this button. Now you can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chairs, and they are here, and they are all individual chairs. So now I will have to delete these chairs individually. Now let me talk about the views option. I will select the chair and fire up the array tool, and here we have got two options. The link array, if it's checked, this is recommended. It creates links to the original object, not copies. So this is recommended because it's much less resource intensive. But if I want to use the views, I have to not use the link array. So I will uncheck the link array and use the views. And views means that if objects overlap, they will be fused into one object. So let me just show you if I hit OK. Now, if my chairs don't overlap, the fuse does not work. It does not matter if it's enabled or disabled. But if I change the interval to, let's say, 35 centimeters, you can see that the chairs are overlapping, and the objects that are overlapping are then fused. So these legs are fused and the bench is fused. Now I have a still option to disable the fuse. So if I check this, yes, all of the chairs are independent. So this is the fuse option. So you know about that. Now, so far I was creating the array always in just one axis, but if I choose the link array and uncheck the fuse and I will switch to ortho mode, I will actually in the z-axis make just one, in the y-axis also just one, and in the x-axis 6, and the intervals in the x-axis I will make it 50, and in the y I will make it, let's say, minus 20. And you will see now that I can create the array like so. So it's basically in two axes at once. And I could also set the z interval for the and it's here in the x interval. I can change the z value, and if I change it to 20, the chairs would be moved in two axes, even though it's basically just one axis array. So you can achieve quite a complex arrays using these values. So this is all you need to know about the orthogonal array. I will have follow-up videos with these other array possibilities. So stay linked to the FCB Lounge channel. If you like tutorials like this one, consider supporting the FCB Lounge channel by donating through the Ko-Fi page. The link is in the description box below. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.